Well, hello there. Hello, everyone. Sorry for being a little bit late. I had a bunch of stuff to take care of that I just like wanted to get out of the way. When I had like the spoons to do it, I was like, if I don't do it right now, it won't get done for like another week at least. So I just had to do it, and then I was like, I know it's like got home from work, and I was like, bleh, I can't. Sorry, my light is like not. It's a little dark. Anyway, yeah, it was just like I gotta do it now or it won't get done. So I needed to take some time, but there was very limited time between when I got home from work and when I was about to stream. So I was like, "Ugh." But I'm here and I'm ready to play some more Ace Attorney. I was thinking about in the car how I've already forgotten his name. Come here, Midna. You can be on camera for a little bit. Yes, you know that I'm talking, which means it's attention time, huh? I was thinking about cute lawyer boy with the weird headband. Oh, you didn't want to be held? You just wanted to walk across the camera doing your little cat strut? What a brat. Honestly, I can't. Billowing headband. What is it fucking called? There's like a name for it, but I was thinking about him and I was like, man, he's really cute. I can't wait to do some more law stuff with him. And I think we're still on like the tutorial case, which is like kind of funny. But I have heard tell that some of these cases in this particular game run really, really long. So we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pop those content warnings and whatnot in there for you. So there's the link in chat. Also, I have the actual list. So just be mindful: blood and gore, visual and audio. Gun violence, animal death and suicide, alcohol and substance abuse, some domestic violence, I think some implications of self-harm. There's some snakes in there specifically if that's something that bothers you. Anxiety attacks, hospitals, bone breaking, hanging, suffocation, burial alive, which all of those are horrible, but I wanted to mention them just so you're aware. Anti-Semitism, which I don't think it's directly anti-Semitism, but it's probably like implied or it has like that kind of theme to it. I want to put that in there. Wouldn't be an Ace Attorney game without fat jokes, unfortunately. And per Ace Attorney style, lots of flashing lights and shaky cam type stuff because of visual novel excitement. And I think there's a claustrophobic scene as well. So just be mindful of any of these. If they are your triggers, feel free to step away. I want everybody to be comfortable. Like I said, if you want more specific information about different triggers, some semi-spoilers, just be aware of that. The link to the doesthedogdie.com page is in chat. Also, if you ever need it again, the command is !! Midna, oh my goodness. Pick up or down. Stop jumping. You're making everybody so anxious, especially me. Yeah, so just be mindful of all that, and !warning is the command in chat if you want to pull that up. Now, without further ado, because clearly I'm already late, I'm late for a very important date with my lawyer boyfriends, all of them, every last one of them. Let's get over to the game. So, we're playing some great Ace Attorney. Is my audio on? It is now. No, don't close. No, don't close. I don't want to close. I want to... There we go. Yeah, there it is. So, let's get back into it with continuing from my last save. Yes, I'm playing from this save data. I love this music. Oh, also, I have some tea. I decided to make myself some tea. It's green tea, which is like kind of Japanese, I think. And then it's tea because I was like, aha, since we're gonna go, I mean, I guess tea was brought over from Asian countries to the European, even though they claim that we have tea. But anyway, yeah, it's in my like very European style teacup that says, drop it like it's hot. Because we're probably going to jolly old England eventually, so. Also, it's freezing cold. Literally, they are predicting snow showers where I'm at, so I'm in my fuzzy PJs. I have a blanket. I've got hot tea. I'm, like, trying to cozy myself up because it's cold. All right, 22nd of November, 11:38 a.m., Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber 5. Him! Kazuma! That was who I was talking about. He cute. He real cute. I mean, look at him though. Look at his face. I just wanna like... So cute. Alright. What voice did I give him? I gave him like the Shi Long Lang voice. Like a little bit gruff. My like, cool masculine voice. What I can do with my very shrill girly voice that I have. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. That was a little too, hippie-ish, but we'll get there. So I'm warming up. Ugh, my heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you then, in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking. And you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Haha! Spoiler alert, you're going to. Haha. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. I hate the word gentlewoman. I mean, that's like a personal, like I just don't like that. It's so weird to me. Gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Alright, the detective with, like, straight up tuberculosis. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. And just after I bent down and picked it up, bang! I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Oh god, I don't know whose voice this is. This is the old man, isn't it? It is. What, I gave him like a... Oh shit, my headset is doing its thing again. Sorry about that. No, what the heck? Okay, wait. Oh, now I can't monitor the sound. What's happening? Wait a minute. I can't hear it. That's so strange. Alright, that was weird. I got it back. Professor Mikotoba. Well, it seems I was right. Pair, you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Again, I feel kind of blasphemous giving this clearly Japanese old man, older gentleman, I should say. This older gentleman who is very clearly Japanese, a southern accent, but I digress. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why... Some prefectures of Japan have actually... So it's not too... Well, isn't it... Usually it's from people from Osaka that get the southern accent, right? Because that's like... Well, I know that there's like... country-ish parts of Japan. I just don't know which prefectures those are. And this man seems like he's not part of those. I don't know, it's the mustache. The mustache is giving me like older country dad energy. Like, I'm trying to think of like a good, Like a... Oh, God. Oh, man. What is that movie? They actually filmed it partly in Georgia, I think. Smokey and the Bandit? And who was that actor? Oh my God, his name is escaping me. I could see his face so clearly, and that's who this guy... No, not Gone with the Wind. Not Gone with the Wind. It was more modern than that. Oh my God. What is this actor's name? Archer from the cartoon Archer is like obsessed with him. Oh shit, I literally can, I'm visualizing his face and I cannot for the life of me. Oh my God, I'm gonna look it up because it's gonna drive me crazy. It'll drive me absolutely crazy. This time it's windier. No. Smokey and the Bandit. Burt Reynolds! That's who he reminds me of. Burt Reynolds. Yes, so, okay, Mikatomo looks Burt Reynolds-y. So that's what, I don't know. I don't even think Burt Reynolds has that accent. I don't know. This is just the ether of my brain. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma? Well then, looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? I don't know, because this morning was actually a week ago for me. If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. Oh, Nanner's online. Hello, Nanner. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA, sorry. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. I want to poke his little pink puffball thingy he's got. I don't know what that is. I'm sure it's some sort of traditional garb, but it looks really fluffy, and I just want to poke it. I just want to go, boop. Now then, I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. I guess I do this every time, but Defendant Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once! It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Before those old fossils know what hits them. Ah! I like this music a lot. Oh man, I'm gonna go fucking jam out to the Ace Attorney soundtrack on Spotify again. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. Gay, gay, gay! Just kidding. They just bros. Or are they? I don't know. I kind of ship it. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. Ha! With an extra large portion, of course. I don't know what that is, but it sounds very good. And also makes me want takoyaki, even though I totally ate dinner. I actually ate too much for dinner. I'm still like kind of full. Alright, we back in here. I forgot what voice I gave him. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aochi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forge with Great Britain will emerge.
What voice am I giving him?
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forge with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation
our nation founders? Founders? Is this supposed to be flounders? Fonders? Founders. I don't know. Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. Ooh, savage! You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up! Shut up, you jumped-up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
Is that really how you spell maneuvering? I feel like a couple of those vowels are... I know that all of those vowels have to be there, but it feels like they're out of order to me. Maybe I'm just dumb. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well put! Well said, Ryunosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats!
Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Mr. Giselle Brett.
Yes. Your Excellency!
Alrighty, here she goes. Oh, that is quite the hat. That's an actual swan on her hat. I guarantee it. I guarantee the minute that we find her guilty... Oh, that's a new... Okay. I guarantee that the minute we find her guilty, she will... Her swan will come to life and probably do some weird shit.
Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land.
Tea! Someone bring in this tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea!
Cheers, my dears! I'm sorry.
Cheers, my dears.
Is that... Oh, sorry. Is that true?
No idea.
So,
Could we possibly trouble you? I'm just kidding.
could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. Not you, asshole. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at Luck.
Yes, we know all about you already.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first.
Is that true?
No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of.
Oh, yes. I think I did, didn't I?
Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Are you crushing on her? What is happening?
Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty.
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
What the fuck is this? Oh my god, is it because she's speaking English? Is that it? Is it because she's speaking English instead of Japanese?
I'm terribly sorry, dear.
Damn it, I'm losing my voice.
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What?
Oh, he's gonna speak for her?
The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in Ume University's
Medical faculty. Why do I keep wanting to say facility?
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. But
Okay.
I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song.
Okay, I guess. As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. Ha, you'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? So it is because she's speaking English. Like, actually English. Wow, that's kind of neat. I always kind of like it when... Anyway.
Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct?
So he's literally just speaking English with her.
She says, yes.
She said a lot more than yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese.
She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately.
Interesting, when you're the one who engineered her escape.
I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print?
Simp! I'm just kidding.
Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes fucking simp! Resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Apparently it was very frightening. Or a very frightening and sorrowful sight.
Do you mean to say?
Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused standing right there in this courtroom shot the victim in cold blood.
Order! Order in the court!
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Ooh. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described.
Is she actually gonna speak, or is she gonna... This is gonna be interesting. A frightening and sorrowful sight.
I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
She's totally the culprit. Are you fucking kidding me? She's sus as hell.
This is a contest.
Yes! Whoa, I didn't get to finish. No! I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard!
Really?
And look at this snow-white angel! I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe.
Ugh. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. He used goading attack! Ah, but he's so annoying!
Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go.
The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however.
Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm.
There's literally ample places for her to conceal a firearm. I would think she could hide a gun almost... Thank you! You could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to.
Unless, and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter.
That's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. I don't think that's gonna go over well, Ryunosuke. Don't think about doing anything rash. Oh my god. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. Teeth is playing Animal Crossing. Have fun, Teeth.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency. All right, let's do it. It's cross-examination time.
Yes!
After 2 p.m., in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
Objection!
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are in vogue. Isn't that right?
Oh, that is how you spell that phrase. I need to rewrite something because I made a mistake. No. No. Just no. Wait, hold on. I'm taking a screenshot of that. I'm gonna respond to this. No.
Ugh.
A decisive English no has quite a sting to it.
The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together.
But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier.
That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late.
Yes, it all makes perfect sense.
Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is.
So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? Wait, what voice did I just do? The wrong one, probably. Okay.
Yes!
Yes! He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at Hana Clinic, correct?
That's right.
You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact?
It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment.
So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett?
That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events.
Exactly as it was left.
Dear me, what a harrowing experience! To have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all.
That's right, other than some carbonated water.
Just water?
Yes. The professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each.
They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryunosuke, about the litmus? It's very meaningful! I guess. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on the case! Water, you say? Water?
Well, how fascinating. Do tell us what this profound bearing...
What is this? Sorry, I read that wrong. The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Well sidestepped, counsel.
Very well. Miss Brett, kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony.
Gladly, she said.
I like how her mask smiles with her. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm gonna remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Beefsteak for myself and the cheers. I feel like that is the... Was it carbonated? I can't tell! I think I'm gonna just keep pressing for...
Yes!
I'm gonna keep pressing. Both you and the professor drank... Okay, so both you and the professor drank this carbonated water, did you?
Yes. Being the waiter, I poured the 2 glasses myself. I clearly remember doing so.
Except you're actually a detective. And the beefsteak, that was for you, Miss Brett.
lady said that she'd heard it was not customary to eat beef here until Japan opened its doors to the world.
Yes, that's true,
What a frightful place.
is the lady's opinion. That's rude. And I've heard it's not customary to eat sashimi in Great Britain. Now that's frightful. Agreed. Sashimi is really fucking good, so. Every country has its own cuisine. As long as people have food to eat, what does it matter what it is? True, come to think of it. The first time I tried carbonated water, it was much more of a shock than the first time I tried beef. But anyway, back to this witness's statement. Somehow, I feel like there's something out of place in what she's saying. We need to pounce on even the slightest thing now. Because you never know what might lead us to our goal. Our goal of turning this trial around. Understood, Kazuma. Alrighty. Yes! I'm gonna hear about this argument that I supposedly had. I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over to say hello. Please don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor.
I'm afraid your words are in vain.
Sorry?
Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese.
No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. English is the future. We must all...
What? I don't feel comfortable reading this. English is the future. We must all Supiku Ingudishu. I hate it. I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever or only in the presence of a beautiful woman. Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be. I cannot believe they actually wrote that in there. I just... Oof! Oof, big oof.
Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat.
That part ties in with what you said, doesn't it? Yes, I still had some coffee to drink. And the next time you got up after that was when I'd finished my coffee and stood up to leave. That slight smile.
Then not long afterwards, the accused took...
Yes! That's not what happened. I disagree. Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. And like I said, there's no point repeating that assertion over and over. Well, I wasn't expecting you to be attacked by my own side.
Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out in the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand.
Well, yes, that's true, but all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at that time. The highly suspicious lady on the stand.
That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel.
I love that musical. Dirty?
Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident,
Boy! It seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours.
What nonsense.
The lady is merely stating what she saw.
And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. Yes! It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it?
Absolutely. I verified it personally.
You verified it?
Yes, immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not."
Wow, you got me there. Are you carrying a gun? No. Well, shit. I don't know what else to do. That's all you did? You just asked her?
Surely you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No.
Why on earth not?
The honorable English gentlewoman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. There was obviously no need for any further probing into the matter.
Or there was no permission given for any further probing into the matter, perhaps.
Think what you will, but if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the refined lady was concealing a firearm, the prosecution demands that you support your assertion with facts.
In other words, he wants evidence.
Ugh.
The lady wishes to point out that of course she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation, but she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave.
Not to mention the fact that your office had told you to get the woman out of there.
Not get her out of there, just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point out that she in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime, which is why she is only too happy to cooperate and testify here in court today.
Unlike a certain student who refuses to admit when the game is up. You could at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you.
So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with a professor at the end of which you shot him. Which is an out-and-out, totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in dull, black skull uniform. I'm dressed exactly the same way as you are, except for the flapping red ribbons. Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it is. If we can't do that, the trial's over. Even you with your thick skin must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room. Only too well, I feel half dead already. And the fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony isn't making me feel any better either. The first thing to do is press her on any of her statements that seem even slightly off to you. Do that, and an opening will present itself, I promise you. I need to expose the true face of this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask. Beneath the mask, you say? That's what I should be aiming for in this cross-examination. Cool, thanks for the tutorial. I've played Ace Attorney before. Alright, so... I feel like it's something to do with... Yes! Music stopped, which means it's correct. That's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left.
That is correct, the lady says.
Well, that is, it's odd. Very odd.
Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers! It's the cheers, damn it! The cheers? Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Also, wait a minute. Isn't it bad luck to cheers water? I'm pretty sure I've heard that it's bad luck to cheers water. You never cheers water. Because you're supposed to cheers something else, always. Isn't that... Hold on. Wait, I gotta look that up. Cheers water. Bad luck. According to the Navy's Mess Night Manual, water toasts are bad luck. Toasting someone with water was considered akin to wishing them, and maybe yourself, death by drowning. Ancient Greek gods might also see a raised glass of water and consider that an invitation to shower you in misfortune. Clinking glasses with water is looked down upon across many cultures. It's believed that the act brings bad luck or even death upon the recipient. And in some cases, death upon yourself. So even the US military can't, you're not allowed to do that. So it's bad luck. It's toasting water or an empty glass. So, how ironic that they supposedly toasted water and one of them ended up murdered.
You're quite right, Council. There's only one glass picture.
Objection! Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutia? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
Objection!
Minutia, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence?
Of course not. I would never do something so reckless.
But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try... Oh my gosh. Or are you going to try to tell me that you can only clink with one?
You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table.
Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Inspector, what did the lady say?
It would seem that Miss Brett who took... It was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table.
What?
It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she sang.
Good gracious.
Sorry.
Oopsies! My bad! There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all.
Oh, please.
We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who can blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray?
That's absurd!
Oh, really? So do we take it that you're now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief?
What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. Because if she can conceal a glass, she can conceal a gun.
It would seem she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying.
A handbag, you say?
Yes, Your Excellency, a small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England.
So, the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations! You have wasted enough time already!
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement?
Of course not. Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance there, it's the handbag! Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say?
Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items.
Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun.
You're right.
Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that, too.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce that there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't seriously be suggesting.
Inspector Hosonaga!
Yes.
Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder?
No, sir, I did not.
As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
We got her now. Order! Order! Order!
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Professor? Oops. Prosecutor Hachi.
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag to show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? He's making me cough. That's ironic.
Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police.
I really need you to have faith in some doctors. Please go to the hospital. You're probably infecting everyone in this courtroom with your freaking TB. Is that TB? The consumption. Is it the consumption? It's just consumption. I'm an idiot. Just don't mind me. Please don't mind me. My brain is just fried from today.
As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary.
Unnecessary in what way?
I'll have to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print.
What the fuck kind of handbag is that? It's like, it's sheer. It's totally sheer. What is... Wait, what is that? Is that a tattoo on his arm? Of a bull? I'll look at that later. That's clearly gonna be significant in a minute. I know it is. Anyway.
This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag.
Well, I never.
You can see right through what's...
Oh gosh, you can see right through to what's inside.
That's right. Apparently, men's work bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment.
So the contents are clearly visible.
Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious.
Damn it!
As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here.
Oh my gosh, my shoulders are...
Ooh! Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san.
Oh no. Oh damn! Order! Order! Inspector Hoshinaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once.
Certainly, Your Excellency.
Okay. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness counsel.
Oh no.
The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Indeed, and there is only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Oh, God. Cosma? His headband isn't even blowing in the wind! No! I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it?
I must say you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat, while the strong eat. You were wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. A fact you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell!
This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma. What? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Wait. No, hold on. Court record. Let me look at the court record. Hold on. I gotta look at the court record real quick. Photograph of handbag. Magnifying glass. Okay, so that's the glass. There's a rose on the... What is this? It's a bull tattoo. Why does he have a bull tattoo? I don't know! Very well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
It seems we'll be able to report to the British government on time after all.
That smug little... Ryunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all of the evidence placed before me, I hereby find you... Uh-oh. Wait! Your Excellency! Ryunosuke. I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
Objection!
This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of this courtroom.
Yes!
What is that thing on his hand? Is that a glove? What is that? Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now, that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection!
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
You'd better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court scrutiny. However, if I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which doesn't seem right. If only I could just put my finger on it. Or maybe my magnifying glass with my cursor using the analog stick on the left side of my controller. Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
What?
But be warned that if I'm unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at this photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded. Right, what is this? What's going on here?
Yes!
Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost
Like a burn of some description.
Ooh.
Objection! Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist. Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right.
Go on, Inspector.
The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Ouchie points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn.
What is she saying?
Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean of other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer.
No.
I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
No, he's not. No, he's not. What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should just keep digging and digging, in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? If we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again.
Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture.
But if we had evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it?
I would, yes.
To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means.
So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court.
We're gonna find it, I guess. Well, I'm like looking. Is there like a... I'm trying to figure out what it is, actually, and I don't know. Shit. The symbol of Yume University. Every student who wears this pin with pride. It's funny, but most emblems seem to be either round or rectangular. I like this spike design, even though it doesn't really make any sense. Although, it does cause problems. Lots of students end up cutting their fingers on their badges. Perhaps it was the idea of the founders, a sharp pin for a sharp mind or something? Is there like a button on his... I'm genuinely at a loss. Some kind of medical treatment entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction with no, that's... This is just explaining the tooth situation again. That doesn't help me either. Shit. Single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. There's gotta be something. Maybe a photo of the table. The plate! Right there! Aha! There it is! Boom! This one.
Yes! What's this, Council? Yet another print?
Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore.
Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable.
Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore.
What?
How?
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn?
Right? Yeah. If I gotta go get a little closer. A little close. Oh.
Yes!
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate. Ah!
Your Excellency, are you all right?
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. This emblem on the plate and the victim's burn are exactly the same shape.
Ah!
Ryunosuke, you genius. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection!
But even if that is the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Well,
Objection!
Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga?
I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But...
I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure.
Can you be more specific, Inspector?
Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds.
I don't know what that means. I'm a dumb American who uses the imperial system. 90 degrees centigrade. Centigrade to Fahrenheit. Jesus, fuck. Which is, I mean, Celsius. Centigrade is the same, but that's 194 degrees. That shit's fucking hot. That's hot. Hot, hot, hot.
It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then.
I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter.
Well, he was undercover as a waiter. Yes! He was a detective instead of a waiter. There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day or any before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. That is interesting. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day...
That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel.
Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antique dealer, all of us would without any question have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it, Ryunosuke. Do you think... Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but he screamed at the same time as the gun went off? I'm starting to think that maybe... we've been led into a terrible trap! There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. Oh, we couldn't feel it because of the anesthesia! That's it. Wait. See, okay, hold on. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. My first instinct was to say that he was already deceased because it's Ace Attorney and I've seen some pretty wild shit, but I don't feel like they would go this wild right off the bat. You feel me? And I know he wasn't asleep, but I feel like it has to do with the anesthesia. He hadn't noticed the burn. Yes, the professor, being as absent-minded as usual, was unaware of his hand falling onto the piping hot plate and didn't even notice the burn happening. You didn't even know the professor, and yet here you are, labeling him as a bumbling scatterbrain. How about I hold your wrist on a hot plate and we see how your bumbling scatterbrain copes? Perhaps the scream you let out will wake you up in a bit. Well, it's nice that there's this frankness developing between us part. No, because the anesthesia, well, I guess it would be in his mouth, but... Oh my god, are we really going this hard, this fast? That sounds really dirty. Are we really, like, we're going from 0 to 100 in the first case. We gonna fucking say that this motherfucker was already dead. This is a critical moment. It may very well be our only chance to turn things in our favor. So come on, Ryunosuke. You can do it. Or rather, you have to do it. You're the only one who can. Was already deceased? No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from in one particular situation. Was that the correct answer? We're really I just said, I don't think they're gonna go. I don't think they're gonna go this hard in the first case. Fucking leave it to Ace Attorney. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead.
Already?
Dead? Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. Holy shit! That was right! Please, counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Ouchie, it's you who has no grasp of the facts.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from the witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brent knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brent, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But Your Excellency...
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency.
No.
I'm just kidding. What was that smile?
Yes, of course. I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
I knew this bitch was fucking faking!
Miss Brett, you speak Japanese?
Of course she does! Are you serious?
Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country after all.
But then why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible.
Oh my god, that's super fucking racist. What a bitch. What a cunt!
A right cunt she is!
Go back, please. No! Ah, shit! I'm pressing the wrong button, I'm sorry. This bitch really just... Anyway.
But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level.
Oh my god! What a bitch!
Oh, you are the epitome. You are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman.
You are a bitch. A total bitch.
We are truly honored by this, this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. I cannot. That is... She's awful. She's so awful.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
Why are you here if you hate it so fucking much? Girl, why are you here? That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in Supreme Court history, thank you. Easy does it.
I hope that this is the last time I'll have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue.
This bitch is fucking racist!
Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
Bitch! Bitch!
Not at all, not at all. It is a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady.
Oh my god, this is some Dahlia Hawthorne ass shit. Y'all simping too hard.
And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant.
I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
The Minister of Justice?
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen.
Huh? Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Dude, what? Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with this cross-examination. We finally get to... This bitch. This bitch. This racist-ass little bitch.
Yes!
But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't not have noticed.
Do you think so? Let me ask you something.
Sorry?
Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open. You can't not have noticed, can you?
Huh? What?
What a fun. Hadn't realized.
The dear lady is absolutely right.
As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke. Why didn't you tell me?
Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing?
Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can.
Yes!
Well, I can't.
Anyway.
Yes!
I want to fucking knock that stupid swan right off her head. As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right?
Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink. Correct, waiter?
Exactly as you say, sir. Although,
whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that.
thank you.
Actually,
I have enough English to understand that at least. For the benefit of others in the court, it means bless you.
Actually, it quite literally means the opposite. Like, not just like a, you're wrong, but just like a, you couldn't be more wrong. I think it means the exact opposite. Yeah. Anyway. As far as I heard, postmortem. Okay.
Yes!
Press. Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma.
Yes. Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, it can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent life. Oh my god, this innocent man's life.
My brain was holding on for dear life trying to read that sentence. But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burnt his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point.
And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time.
I concur. Prosecutor Ouchie's right. Ugh.
Yes!
Without leaving a trace.
If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body. Quite right, dear lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga?
As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation.
There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark.
If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Oh no, perish the thoughts. Calling such a sweet young lady's innocent into question. On my honor, I, Takasuchi Ouchi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspersions.
A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence.
Yes!
Inferior? What do you mean by that?
In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't it so? Quite right. La Carnival is over for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost.
Wait, what was that? Wait, what was that? Hold on.
It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand? Ha! A killer blow! The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful. Hello, Midna.
Oh, it's cool. I'm not doing anything.
What are you doing, silly kitty? What are you doing?
Are you showing your butt to everybody? Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett had just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find the chink in her armor. Kazuma. What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her. Wait now. Jesus. Inspector Hosonaga. Always jumping up on the shelf. The detective? Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be words. I was wondering if it might be significant, if it might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so. Or sorry, if you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Okay, this is different. This is definitely different. Alright then, I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. This is totally new Ace Attorney style. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again.
Yes! Wait.
Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the English woman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? This music is so good. When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. This is interesting. We're basically letting other people tell on them. I like this. This is a different mechanic that I haven't seen in an Ace Attorney game. Okay. Okay. I like this. This is really new. This is like when they started introducing like the different superpowers that each defense attorney has. And well, I guess prosecutor too, because I guess you could probably count Edgeworth's logic chess as a power. But I was thinking like the new mechanic that was added in Spirit of Justice with the whole like seance thing, or the divination. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry, pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. What marker? Excuse me. At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. But by moving the marker left and right with the arrow buttons, you can turn your attention to other people on the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with A. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so first I should move the marker across. Okay, this is... I know that it's gonna be really easy now, but I can super see how later on in this game it's about to get really fucking hard. Okay. Pursue him with A and see what's on his mind.
Exactly, which means even if the investigation takes a different...
Wait.
I'm trying to look around.
Excuse me.
Excuse me! What is the meaning of this? Excuse me. I like that is what... I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the ladies next to you had to say. If there's something you'd like to say, please, share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately.
Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yeah! Not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hoshinaga. Yes. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett?
Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak.
Oh, she is so mad.
The lady is right, our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless.
What do you really mean by that?
I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. If it's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done.
Dude, please go to the hospital. A crime scene thief? Is this gonna be the fucking coin that we've been looking for?
Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example.
Is that?
This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says.
Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it.
One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it.
I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence.
Okay, cool. We have a glass bottle of water now.
Miss Brett. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death?
Yes, it was that bottle.
What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Because she's lying!
Very well, counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor.
Yes!
Without leaving a trace. I'm like watching them very closely. Maybe
Yes!
a bottle that was poisoned?
What is this? The bottle of water?
Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison.
Poison? Poison for Cusco?
On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Oh, Hosonaga looks surprised. Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass. Order! 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 And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could possibly have done it. Giselle Brett. It was you!
Objection!
This is outrageous to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime.
What?
The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. Oh.
Ahem, if I may. I will silence you forever for this.
Shut up!
Ooh. It is you who should be silent. Of course. Dear lady.
Where did that come from? She just snapped.
Shut up! I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring?
I described your police force as inferior, but no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not.
Of course. You did?
Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time.
I don't believe it.
Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents.
And? What did you find, Inspector? It wasn't the bottle that was poisoned. It was the glass.
I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time.
In this country! In this country! They're gonna say she brought it from England or the Great British Empire.
We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency.
What? Are you sure?
The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself.
No. No!
I'm very grateful to all you Japanese.
I don't like the way she said that.
You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours.
Was it? I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, Counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett.
Oh no. I'm just glad the matter is resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present to the court at this point?
Kazuma,
I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more.
Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving.
Wait!
Hold it!
Who? Girly! Oh my gosh!
Please, wait!
Isn't that... What is the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Suzuto Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense.
Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. and in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in a fur shiki cloth. To be continued! I think this is probably a good place to end it. We'll let it leave on a cliffhanger. Save current progress, indeed. I guess I'll just save over this one. Yeah, overwrite this one. Wow. Wow. Oh my god, this is the first trial has 3 parts already. That's insane. That's awesome. Okay. That is where I'm gonna leave it for this time. What a wild ride. That was so good. Oh my gosh. I love Ace Attorney. I'm so glad to be back in this. Thank you guys for tuning in for my Friday stream. I'll be posting my schedule this weekend, so keep your eyes peeled. If you don't follow me already on all of my social medias, you can see them scrolling at the bottom. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitter. Well, Instagram's for my art, but Twitter is the place if you need to follow me for any updates and such. That's what I do. I'm also, just real quick, like, I'm still hosting my giveaway. So I have a pinned post on Twitter. I'm gonna do a $25 Steam card giveaway. So, you know, get your names into the ring if you want it. If you want to get your chances in, follow me on here if you want another entry, and if you sub, you'll get multiple entries. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll see y'all Monday. That's when I next stream. Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, per the usual. So yeah, have a good one, y'all.